thought that we were meant to.
Obviously, we're not getting March Madness this year. Could get delayed into the summer, but that's just pending things getting better. Obviously, it's been a real whirlwind of emotions because news keeps breaking, not even by the hour, but literally by the minute. And it's really hard to keep up with everything that's going on because things just keep drastically changing so much. You know, it's disappointing.
It's insane. This is a wild time to be alive.
Yes.
I'm not sure there was any other reason for it.
Your love is suicidal. For me, your love is suicidal.
Give me the Wolford chair.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. Never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Really turned up. The animal underrated. But I get up again. Never gonna keep me down. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Never gonna keep me down.
Welcome to Preseason Bracketology for the 2021 college basketball season. It was ripped away from us about 3 days or something before Selection Sunday last year, but that doesn't mean we're going to back down this year. We are coming back with the Bracketology videos, probably your guys' favorite on the channel, or they're up there for some of your favorite videos that you guys always seem to love. And we're back. I did a preseason one last year. I forget who I think I picked Michigan State last year. Spoiler alert, not taking MSU this year in my preseason poll. But we have all of these teams. For reference, bit of news. The NCAA is deciding to hold the tournament in one specific location, which is going to be Indianapolis, in my home state of Indiana. It's perfect. It sounds like what they're going to try to do is make all the tournament locations at Indiana schools. So like IU, Purdue, Indiana State, IUPUI, Butler, I can go on and on. Maybe Louisville, since it's like right on the border between India. It sounds like that's what they're going to do. Have them all in the Indiana area, which would be so great for my state. If they let fans go to games, I will go, I promise you, or I'll try to. So West, Midwest, we can get rid of you. South and East, we can get rid of you and you, because there's not going to be a Southwest or East region. I took all of these rankings are from the CBS Bracketology. I like CBS a lot more than ESPN, but when the actual season gets going and we know a lot more about each team, I will be making my own rankings. I did change some things on here that I didn't like. They had Illinois as an 11 seed, and they had San Diego State as a 3. I just switched those two because I think Illinois was probably better off as a 3 and San Diego State better off as an 11. So I just switched those two. The Ivy League announced that they are not holding fall sports. Yale was in this 12 seed spot and Memphis was up in this play-in game. So I took Yale out. I moved Memphis down to a 12 seed, and then I had to add another team. They had the championship aspirations ripped away from them last year, and everyone's counting them out this year. I know you can't count out this team. They hail from Dayton, Ohio. The Dayton Flyers, your defending national champions. I told my friend, okay, my friend goes to Dayton, right? He plays baseball. I was like, you need to get everyone at Dayton to start claiming a fake national title like what UCF does with their 2017 football. And I was like, y'all need to get on that. Get on that fake national title. Anyway, but the reason I have Dayton in, they still have some good players. They have Jalen Crutcher, Obi Toppin's right-hand man, and his partner in crime from last year, averaged 15 points per game. That guy's a stud. Yeah, he'll be a senior this year, so he's going to be really good. Poor Obi Toppin. Got drafted by the Knicks. Poor guy. I wanted the Bulls to draft him so bad, but they drafted a guy that didn't even start at Florida State. I'm not going to talk about the Bulls because the Bulls are just a pathetic organization. But without further ado, let's get in our play-in game. So let's start with the 16 seed play-ins. I have Sacred Heart and South Dakota State. South Dakota State coming out of the Summit League. I forget what conference Sacred Heart's in. I think they're in like the MAAC. I can't remember. And then I have Lipscomb coming out of the A-Sun. This could be Liberty, but they lost quite a bit of talent from last year. and then Texas Southern from the SWAC. Anyway, so now I can move this up and this up because it's time to get into some picks, baby. All right, Gonzaga is your consensus number 1 overall team in the country. I'm going to take them over the winner of the 16 seed play-in. I think that should be obvious to most people. Gonzaga, they got transfer Andrew Nembhard. They still have Killian Tilly. I also have this recruiting page. They also have Jalen Suggs, 5-star point guard, a 96 overall scout rating, 5-star. Guy's an absolute monster. They're the consensus number 1 team in the nation. Some people, you can argue Baylor, but Gonzaga is going to be a monster this year. Stanford and Oklahoma State. Now, we need to look at the recruiting for this one. Cade Cunningham. He committed to Oklahoma State, number 2 player of the nation behind Jalen Green. Everyone loves this guy. But does Oklahoma State have anyone else good on their team? Spoiler alert, no, they don't. And the same thing can be said about Stanford. They got Zaire Williams, small forward from Sierra Canyon. He's really good. He's got a 95 overall scout rating. I think Stanford will have more. Stanford was actually a pretty good team last year. They were about to be like a 7 or 8 seed last year, and they retained some talent from that team. I think they're an overall better team than Oklahoma State. I'm going to take Stanford. Oregon and the mean green of North Texas coming out of Conference USA. I like North Texas. I think they'll be a good team. My 3 sleepers to watch this year are going to be Bowling Green, North Texas, Stephen F. Austin. I like all 3 of those teams. I'm going to take Oregon, though. Houston and New Mexico State. I always pick New Mexico State. I just do. They play in the WAC, where they play no good teams at all. Here's a question for y'all. Will New Mexico State lose a game? Okay. They play in like the worst conference, right? They play in the WAC. The WAC is a terrible conference. They have Missouri, Kansas City, Utah Valley, Texas, Rio Grande Valley, Seattle, Chicago State. All right, I want to talk about Chicago State for a minute because they're sort of a meme on the channel. A lot of people like to talk about Chicago State and how they went 4-29 last year. Here's my question to y'all. Will they win a game this year? I would bet money that Chicago State will not win a game. Because they didn't win a game last year, and they didn't get any better. And their out-of-conference schedule, they play IUPUI at home. That might be the only game they win. They play all Chicago teams. They play Northwestern. They play DePaul. They play Loyola. They play Northern Illinois, I think. They play Iowa State, and they play another pretty good team. It doesn't look like they're going to win a game. That's what I want you guys to keep your eye out for this year. Will Chicago State win a game? I want them to win at least just one game. But I got to take New Mexico State over Houston. Don't know much about Houston. Texas and San Diego State. I'm going to take San Diego State. Oh, wait, no, never mind. I forgot how I picked. I'm taking Texas. They have the number 9 recruit in the country, Greg Brown, power forward from Austin, Texas, going to his hometown school. I think they'll win that game. Illinois, man. I'm high on Illinois. I'm really high on Illinois. Io DeSumo and Kofi. I think it's Coburn, not Cockburn. I think I say you pronounce his name. They're both studs, and they have another really high recruit that they got. He is the number 30 recruit, Adam Miller, shooting guard from Chicago. He's really good. He will be a nice compliment to Io DeSumo in the backcourt, and Kofi Cockburn is a beast in the front court. This Illinois team, I think they're going to win the Big Ten. If I had to pick a team to win the Big Ten, it'd be Illinois. They are good. They are really good. They should have no problems with UC Irvine. Purdue and Arizona State. I know Arizona State has some new sexy recruits like Josh Christopher, 11th prospect from Lakewood, California. I think they have someone else too. Yeah, they've got this Marcus Bagley guy. But I'm actually going to go and take Purdue. You cannot lean on freshmen in the NCAA tournament. You just can't. Purdue has some pretty good players returning. I'm going to take them. Kansas and Eastern Washington. This is an obvious pick for me, Kansas. Baylor and Radford. Radford coming out of the Big South. You can maybe argue that Winthrop might be able to make it back. I think they won the conference last year. Doesn't matter. Baylor's full of studs. Jared Butler, Maceo Teague, and all those players from last year. They had like everyone return from last year. I don't think they had like anyone go to the draft. UConn and Miami. UConn back in the Big East after leaving. And I don't really know much about Miami. I'm going to take them. UCLA and Memphis. I'm not super high on Memphis this year. I like what UCLA's got going down there. They're building their program back up. Stephen F. Austin at Florida State. Y'all know I love Stephen F. Austin. You know I do. I love the Lumberjacks. Beat Duke last year. They were full of studs last year. Florida State, I don't know if they're going to be that great. They have the number 5 player in Scotty Barnes, but I don't know. What I like about Stephen F. Austin, they play as a team. They move the ball around. They were like top 5 in field goal percentage last year. They move the ball around. They shoot really well. I love them, and they always perform in the tournament. Louisville and Providence. Louisville lost a lot of players from last year, so these teams both lost quite a few people from last year. I'm going to take Louisville. Wisconsin, and here's one of the changes I made. They had Norfolk State coming out of the MEAC, but Howard, they got my boy Makar Maker. I think that's Thon Maker's brother. I think. Someone correct me if I'm wrong about that. 5-star center from Phoenix, Arizona commits to Howard. You can't tell me that this guy isn't just going to run through people in the MEAC. He's just going to have a few. He'll average 40 points a game. He's just going to. I think Howard's going to win. And they had Norfolk State. I don't know what they saw in Norfolk State, but I think Howard's going to really have to lean on this guy, and I think that he's going to be able to will them to the NCAA tournament over lesser competition, but I think Wisconsin will be too much. Indiana and Oklahoma, I'm going to take Trace Jackson Davis and company from Indiana. And then Kentucky and Wright State, give me B.J. Boston and all those new freshmen there. Who are their new freshmen? B.J. Boston. So they got B.J. Boston, Terrence Clark. There's one more guy, I think. And Devin Asknew. Yeah, those are their sexy new freshmen. Now we go to the other side, the Creighton Blue Jays. I like this team. I'm high on them this year. They should have no problems with the winner of Sacred Heart and South Dakota State. I'm really high on Creighton this year. They tied for the Big East title last year. They have a lot of good returning talent. I love Creighton a lot. Northern Iowa and Colorado. You guys know I love Northern Iowa. You know I love Northern Iowa. They have a lot of great returning players from last year. They were about to make a run last year until Drake came out in the Mountain West Conference tournament and said, we're gonna get you out here real quickly. I think Northern Iowa is going to be on a revenge tour this year. They are filled with a lot of great players. They are a tournament performer. I think they get it done there. Michigan and my sleeper Bowling Green. I love Bowling Green a lot, but Michigan's looking to be a pretty decent team this year. I don't think I can pick against them this early. We'll see how Bowling Green does. The jury's still out on them. If they start running through people, blowing teams out, might have to rethink them. Virginia and Belmont. I thought about taking an upset here. I really wanted to take Belmont. I like them a lot. I think they're a really good team. But Virginia's defensive style of play, I don't know. They won them a national championship, and it had them lose to a 16 seed. So, but I'm going to take Virginia. Here's a matchup my friend loves. Rutgers and BYU. BYU just got transferred. Matt Harms, 7'2", I think he is, from Purdue. That guy's a monster. But Rutgers, they have my boy Geo Baker. And Geo Baker is a stud over there at Rutgers. My friend really likes him a lot. And he thinks Rutgers is going to compete for the Big Ten title. Spoiler alert, they're not. But they should be able to make the NCAA tournament. But I'm going to take BYU. They were poised for a run last year. I liked them a lot going in last year. They were making threes like it was nobody's business. I love teams that shoot a bunch of threes going into March Madness. That's what Loyola Chicago did. When I picked Wofford to go to the Final Four, I picked them off of that reason alone. That did not work out, but I'm going to take BYU. Texas Tech, they got transfer Matt McClung from Georgetown. A lot of people like him, and Chris Beard is one of the top coaches in college basketball. Give me Texas Tech. Richmond and Arkansas. I'm taking the Spiders of Richmond. They were a fringe bubble team last year. The jury was out of whether or not they would have made it. I'm going to take them over Arkansas, though. I don't really like Arkansas that much. Richmond kept a lot of talent from last year's team. I think they're your favorites to win the Atlantic 10, and I think they are going to be back in March, and I think that they're poised to make a run. I like Richmond a lot. They're one of my sleeper teams. if there's a top 10 team that I have major concerns about, it's Iowa. Remember when North Carolina was ranked 6th to start last year, and they finished, they were barely over 500, and they were terrible, lost to Wofford. I have concerns about Iowa. I'm going to have to see them play. I'm not picking Colgate over them. I am going to take Iowa. But I don't know. It's just Luka Garza is obviously the best player in the country, or he'll be up there for best player in the country. But, like, is he going to be able to just lead this team game in, game out? I don't know. I don't know. They're really going to have players around him step up. I think that I'm skeptical about Iowa. I definitely am. But I do think they should be able to win their first round game. Villanova and Stony Brook. I'm going to take Villanova. That's an easy one for me. They have some pretty good recruits, don't they? No, not really. All right, well, they got a lot of returning talent from last year. They're ranked 3 in the preseason poll. A lot of people like them. Florida and Ohio State. There's a coin flip for me. 2 overrated teams, if you ask me. I am going to take the Gators. West Virginia and the play-in between South Carolina and USC, the battle of the USCs. I'm going to take West Virginia. Bob Huggins, I feel like is one of the most underrated coaches from last year, and I'm pretty sure my friend who's a West Virginia fan, I think he said every starter or 4 out of 5 starters returned. This is a very streaky team. They will go out and beat a Kansas or a Texas Tech or a Baylor, a powerhouse in their conference, and then they'll go and lose to, like, I don't know, TCU or not so good team. But Bob Huggins, very good coach. I think they win this game. Tennessee and UNC Greensboro. I'm going to take Tennessee. They have a lot of great returning talent from last year's team. Ranked number 12 in the preseason poll. They should be a very good force going forward. LSU. I am not a big believer in LSU. I'm just not. I feel like I don't know. I don't think they're going to be able to compete very much in the SEC with Tennessee and Kentucky, and Florida will be good this year. I just don't see them being able to beat. I like Dayton still. I still think they're a good team, and I do like Xavier also. I'm going to take the winner of that play-in. I like the matchup that either one of those teams would have here. Duke and Delaware. Let's see how many top 10 prospects did Duke get? All right, so they actually didn't get any, but they've got number 13 Jalen Johnson, small forward. Number 13 they have Jeremy Roach. Number 19 ranked prospect they have DJ Stewart. Number 25, they have Jamin Brakefield, Marcus Williams. Yeah, with Duke and Kentucky, it's just the incoming freshman show every year. Give me Duke. North Carolina and St. Louis. I don't know about North Carolina. They did not have a good team last year, and they're gonna probably have to. Their best player left, Cole Anthony. Who did he get drafted by? The Orlando Magic, I think. But they do have Daron Sharp, number 12 ranked prospect. They have Walker Kessler, number 14. Caleb Love, number 18. Yeah, but I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of North Carolina, and clearly CBS is not either. They have them all the way down to 7. I am going to take an upset here and take the Billikens of St. Louis. This was a good team last year. They've always seemed to compete in the Atlantic 10. They share the ball, unselfish team, high field goal percentage. They play good defense. They were up there with Dayton in the Atlantic 10 last year. They almost beat Dayton until my boy Jalen Crutcher decided to hit a game-winning 3 and take that away. They kept a lot of returning players from that team. They're a very good team. Watch out for them. St. Louis, I like them a lot. Michigan State, they should have no problems with Siena. Let's just be honest. Okay, so that is the first round. Now I'm going to move over a little bit, and we're going to do the second round. Gonzaga and Stanford. They're just too loaded, man. They're just too loaded. I don't see there are going to be very few. Now Gonzaga, they have a gauntlet. That's what Gonzaga does. They have a gauntlet out of conference schedule. They play Baylor. They play Iowa. They play someone else. They play Kansas. They fill their out of conference games with just monsters, and I feel like they kind of have to. That's just like kind of an option. So I think they should have no problems with Stanford, Oregon, and New Mexico State. I'll take Oregon. I think the Cinderella run for New Mexico State ends. Illinois and Texas. I'm taking Illinois. This should be 3, by the way. Yeah, I did this back when they were at an 11 seed, but I am going to take Illinois. Love them a lot. You already heard me talk about them. Great team, Illinois. I'm going to take them. Kansas and Purdue. I'm going to take Kansas. Who did they get? Did they get anyone really good in recruiting? No, not really. They got Bryce Thompson shooting guard, but they still have Marcus Garrett. He was like the best defender in the league last year, or one of them. Best defender in all the country, Marcus Garrett. Watch out for him. Like him a lot. I think Kansas will be just fine. UConn and Baylor. I'm going to take Baylor. They should be able to just keep rolling. UCLA and Stephen F. Austin. I thought about taking Stephen F. Austin, but I'm going to take the UCLA Bruins. Louisville and Wisconsin. I'm taking Wisconsin. Wisconsin is a tournament performer. They've never lost, or they've never won a national title, I don't think. But tell me a time where Wisconsin got upset. I can only think of one, and it was when they lost to Oregon. The last time they were in the tournament. But remember when they beat Xavier on that shot when they were number 1 seed with Frank Kaminsky, upset undefeated Kentucky? They are a tournament performer. They will get it done for you. Wisconsin looked to be a very good team this year. Indiana and Kentucky. I am taking an upset here. I'm taking Trace Jackson Davis and the Indiana Hoosiers, baby. Kentucky, I just don't see how you can lean on a bunch of. When was the last time? Okay, this is a serious question. Name me the last time a team of all freshmen, pretty much, won a national title. Virginia, not full of all freshmen. Who was before them? Villanova, not full of all freshmen. The last one I could really like you just can't. Duke, they're supposed to win it all with 4 freshmen. Didn't win it all. I like what Indiana's got going. They kept a lot of talent from last year's team. Last year's team was actually really good. I ain't going to take Indiana here. All right, now let's go back up here and move over a little bit. All right, Creighton and Northern Iowa. I love both of these teams, but I'm going to take the Creighton Blue Jays. I'm really high on both of these teams. Creighton, I think Creighton will win the Big East. I think they will win the Big East. I'm really high on them. They tied for the Big East regular season title last year. I think they had the tiebreaker or whatever for like seeding. And they kept a lot of players from that team. Creighton is a really good team. I think they will definitely grab a 1 seed. A lot of people aren't thinking they'll grab a 1 seed. I think they will. I think they will at least win a game. Michigan and Virginia. I'm going to take Virginia. They still have some good players on their team. I think they still have Kihei Clark and Diakite from that national championship winning team. Any good recruits they have? The number 38 recruit in the country, Jabari Abdur-Rahim. He's supposed to be pretty good. So I think Virginia will be just fine. BYU and Texas Tech. All right, Texas Tech, they run a similar defense. They're really great. They're a really great defensive scheme, just like Virginia. But the reason I am taking BYU is because this team is not afraid to pull up from 10 feet behind the arc and just nail threes all day on you. That is what they do. That's the name of their game. I am high on BYU going into this year. They got Matt Harms, too, from Purdue, as previously mentioned. I like them a lot. Give me BYU. I think they match it. Like, is Texas Tech a better team? Probably. Would Texas Tech beat Rutgers if they win? Probably. It's just the way BYU plays matches up really well with Texas Tech. Richmond and Iowa. I voiced concerns for Iowa the first time around, and that's why I'm going with Richmond. I don't know if one player can carry you through the NCAA tournament. I just don't think they can. Luka Garza is amazing, and the jury is still out on the players around him. They're going to have to step up a lot. I just think Richmond, they're a complete team. They pass the ball well. They shoot efficient. I think they beat them. I like Richmond a lot this year. Villanova and Florida. I'm going to take Villanova easily. West Virginia, Tennessee. This is a tough one. This is a coin flip for me. I'm going to take Tennessee though. Xavier or Dayton winner that play-in, and Duke. I like Xavier and Dayton, but I think their run comes to an end. Give me Duke. St. Louis and Michigan State. I thought about taking St. Louis, man. I really thought about taking St. Louis. I like the Billikens. I'm a lot. I'm high. I'm always high on the A10. All right, I'm always high on the A10. I've always been high on VCU. I've always been high on Richmond, St. Louis, Dayton. Who else is good at this? St. Bonaventure, when they made the tournament, I was high on them. But I think Michigan State should be able to win that game. All right, we are now. So our Sweet 16. Your Sweet 16 is Gonzaga, Oregon, Illinois, Kansas, Baylor, UCLA, Wisconsin, Indiana. Oh, shoot. Bye-bye. Michigan State, Duke, Tennessee, Villanova, Richmond, BYU, Virginia, and Creighton. So now, let's keep going. Let's just keep on trucking. Let me make this like as small as possible. Sorry for me having to like waste time on this. I don't like wasting time on stuff like this, but all right. Elite Eight time. We've got Gonzaga and Oregon, who will be marching on to their final. I think Gonzaga is going to win it. There are going to be very few teams that are going to be able to stop them this year, and I think they should easily be able to get to the Elite Eight. Illinois and Kansas, this would be a good one. I would be excited to watch this game. And I'm going to take Illinois. I really think that they are a top 5 team. I know they're not ranked in the top 5 now. They are a top 5 team, man. They are really, really good. Ayo Dosunmu and Kofi Coburn both could have been drafted, and they stayed. That's the equivalent of Cassius Winston and Xavier Tillman if they would have stayed at Michigan State. Maybe not that overpowered, but it's up there in terms of dominance. That's why I like them more than Iowa. Is Luka Garza better than both of them? Probably, but the combination of them, plus they have that top 30 recruit, whatever, from the best player from Chicago, give me Illinois. Baylor and UCLA, this is easy. Give me Jared Butler, Macio Teague, and the unselfish play of Baylor. I like unselfish teams. I like teams that pass the ball well, great passing efficiency, assists. I like teams like that. Give me Baylor. And I am going to take Wisconsin over Indiana in this Big Ten matchup. Like Wisconsin a lot coming into this year, top 10 team. They move the ball well. I think they will be a very good and fun team to watch. Now let's move over to the right side of the bracket. Creighton and Virginia. I'm going to take Creighton. I'm really high on them this year. Kept pretty much everyone from last year, and they are looking to be a force, man. I like Creighton a lot. BYU and Richmond, my two sort of Cinderella teams. I'm gonna take Richmond. I already explained why, basically for the same reasons I picked Iowa. This was close for me. I thought about taking BYU, but I'm gonna take Richmond. You got to have a sleeper in every bracket. And then down here we have Villanova and Tennessee. I'm going to take Villanova. And then Duke and MSU. I don't think Duke is going to be that good this year. I really don't. Michigan State, they lost Tillman and Winston, but they still have a lot of great players on that team. Aaron Henry's a beast. Gabe Brown can take over the game when he wants to. Malik Hall, stud. Marcus Bingham, stud. Thomas Kithier, I'm going to need you to score points this year, buddy. You didn't do that last year, and everyone thought you were going to be really good. I'm going to need you to step up this year. Steven Izzo, yeah, he doesn't play, but he's still a GOAT. I'm taking Michigan State. You can call this a bias pick if you want. I'm not going to yell at you. All right. We have our Elite Eight. We have Gonzaga. We have Illinois. We have Baylor. We have Wisconsin. We have Michigan State, Villanova, Richmond, and Creighton. Let's keep going, man. Let's see who will be participating in the Final Four, man. This is exciting. I can't wait for March Madness. Gonzaga and Illinois. This is so close for me. This is so close. I love Illinois so much, but I'm gonna take Gonzaga. I just think Andrew Nembhard, Killian Tilly, Jalen Suggs, they're loaded this year. They are loaded this year. They might go undefeated. They'll probably. I think they play. Illinois plays Baylor, in the regular season in some tournament. But I think Gonzaga might lose to one of Kansas, Baylor, and Iowa. They might lose to one of those three, but they're just full of monsters, man. Gonzaga. If there's any year that this small school from Spokane, Washington, is going to win a national title, if there's any year they're going to get over the hump, it's this year. Give me Gonzaga. Down here, Baylor and Wisconsin. Ooh, I don't know, man. I just think Baylor's way too dominant. I like Wisconsin a lot, but Baylor, Macio Teague, Jared Butler, they're just full of stars, and I think they should be able to win that game. So our first Final Four matchup is Gonzaga and Baylor. Now we move to the other side of the bracket with Creighton and Richmond. Does Richmond, small school from Virginia, do they keep up the greatest story of our times? That answer is no. I think Creighton is just an all-around way better team than Richmond. Whereas I don't think that for some of these other teams. Like I think Richmond will be able to make a run, but I think Creighton's just way too good. And then Villanova and Michigan State. Oh boy, I'm gonna get so much hate for this. I know I'm gonna get so much hate for that. Michigan State, they still kept a lot of talent for that last year's team. They're gonna have players stepping up this year. They got Matty Cisco. I forgot to talk about him. They got Matty Cisco from. He's a really good recruit. He should be able to at center. He'll probably be the starting center, I'd imagine. Either that or he'll provide some great stuff off the bench. They got AJ Hoggard. He'll be a nice. The point guard position. It's a question mark for Michigan State. Is Foster Loyer going to start, or is AJ Hoggard going to come in and start? I'd be fine with either one of them starting. Foster Loyer's been on the bench for forever. If you look at his high school highlights, he's a beast, but I think AJ Hoggard will probably start. He's good. I like him a lot. And then, is there anyone I'm forgetting? No one I'm forgetting. I'm taking Michigan State. I can't have all 1 seeds, but I just can't do it. I will never pick all 1 seeds. So Creighton and Michigan State is your second Final Four matchup. So now, let's see who's going to win this thing. Our first matchup is Baylor and Gonzaga. And I think these are your consensus top 2 teams in the country. So seeing them match up in the Final Four would be amazing. Both of these teams are really, really good. They're both deep. I like teams that have depth, all right? That's a really big strength to be. You can't just rely on one player. That's why I don't like Iowa that much coming into this year. Oh, man, this is tough, but I just think Gonzaga is better. These teams are going to play in the regular season. We'll learn a lot about these 2 teams then, but I'm going to take Gonzaga. I feel like they are all around the better team. And then Creighton and MSU. Oh, I feel like I already have MSU going way too far. Then I think they maybe will go. And I love Creighton a lot this year. Give me the Blue Jays. This is my championship matchup. Gonzaga and Creighton. Neither one of these teams has ever won a national title, I don't think. I know Gonzaga has it. I don't think Creighton has either. No, there's no way Creighton's won a national championship. Who do we have cutting down the nets in Indianapolis? Man, this is going to be a great game. Back and forth. A lot of people are sleeping on Creighton this year. Number 11 team preseason. A lot of people aren't giving them, I think, enough credit as they deserve. But the team I have winning the national championship for the first time in their program's history, the Gonzaga. Oh, nope, it didn't work. I have Gonzaga. I just think there's going to be very few teams that are going to be able to slow them down. They are a train coming into this season. They're going to have a lot of experience. They have the perfect amount of experience. They have returning players. They have transfers. They have 5 stars. They've got it all. They've really got it all. It's like there's 3 types of great college. You've got your stud freshmen. You've got your players that are returning and are developing, and then you've got your transfers that usually provide you a lot of stuff. Oh, I forgot about Joey Hauser from Michigan State, transferred from Marquette. Also, I am taking Gonzaga. I think they are going to win the national championship. The second year in a row, I've picked the number 1 preseason team. But I think that Gonzaga is definitely going to be the team that wins it all. So here, I'll scroll down the bracket slowly. You can look at it for one last final time. We will be updating this. I'm not sure how much we'll update it. I'm thinking every 2 weeks you'll get a new bracketology, and maybe when it comes to January, February, March, it's a weekly thing. Sometimes almost daily. But for the beginning of the season, I think I might update this every 2 weeks, and I'm probably not going to fill in my predictions for each game every single time. I might just go through the seeds and who's trending up and down. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. How long is this video? 33 minutes. Hell, no one's even watching anymore. I hope you guys are watching. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you in the college basketball season.